pair of straight driven gears to transmit 15 kilowatts at 1200 RPM of 120 mm dia pinion. The speed reduction is 3.5. Use 14.5-degree full depth tooth system. The pinion is made up of alloy steel, case hardened, that is SAE2320, and gear is cast steel, 0.2% carbon, heat treated. And determine the module phase width and number of teeth on pinion and gear, and suggest the suitable hardness. So the power E is 15 kilowatts, and the speed of the pinion, that is N1, is 1250 RPM, and the D1 is 120 mm, and the speed reduction, that is N1 by N2, is 3.5, and alpha is 14.5 degrees, and pinion is of SAE2320, and gear is cast steel, 0.2% carbon heat treated. So these are the data given. We need to find out the module M. We need to find the module M space width D, and the number of teeth on the pinion and gear, that is Z1 and Z2, Z1 and Z2, and we need to suggest the suitable hardness number for both gear and pinion. Okay. So what is the first step? First step. What is the first step now?
Weaker members.
Okay. So the first step to identify the weaker member. So to identify the weaker member, we need to write the table. Okay. So what is sigma O1 and what is sigma O2? What is the value of sigma O1 and what is the value of sigma O2? So this is from table 23.18. The material properties are sigma O1 is 345 Newton per mm square, and sigma O2 is 173 Newton per mm square. Okay, so here it is 345 and here it is 173. Okay, and how to find out the y? To find the value of y, we need, what do we need to find the value of y? We need ZV, right? And to find the value of ZV, we need delta and Z. So if you know the value of delta and Z, I can get the value of ZV, then I can get the value of Y, and I can identify which is the weaker member. So first, we know that it is given that I is equal to N1 by N2, that is equal to 3.5. And N1 is, what is the value of N1?
1250.
So N1 is 1250, therefore N2 is 1250 divided by 3.5. So what is the answer?
$357.14.
Okay, N2 is this. And similarly, this I is equal to N1 by N2, that is equal to Z2 by Z1, that is equal to D2 by D1, right? You know this relationship. So, and we know the value of D1. So what is the value of D1? What is the value of D1?
120.
So D1 is 120. Therefore, D2 is equal to 120 into 3.5. Okay, it is 420 mm. So now I know the value of D1 and D2, N1 and N2. Now I need to find the delta. Okay, and now to find the value of delta, we need to know whether it is acute angle bevel gear or the equation for delta is dependent on angle between the shaft axis. Okay, that is less than 90 degree or greater than 90 degree or equal to 90 degree. So what is the angle between the shaft axis? What is the angle between the shaft axis?
Not given, sir.
So it is not given, we need to assume. Okay. Since sigma is not given in the question, let's assume sigma is equal to 90 degree. Okay. Now if I know the value of sigma, then I can find the value of delta. Therefore, delta 1, therefore delta 1 is equal to tan inverse of 1 by I, and delta tan inverse of I. So what is the value of delta 1? So delta 1 is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 3.5, and delta 2 is tan inverse of 3.5. So delta 1 is
15.94.
so delta 1 is 15.94. Say let's take it as 16 degree. So delta 2 is
74.
degree. So now we know the value of delta 1 and delta 2. Now, since we know the value of delta 1 and delta 2, we can get the value of ZV1 and ZV2. Okay. The formative number of feet on pinion, that is ZV1, is equal to Z1 by cos delta 1. Okay. And similarly, ZV2 is Z2 by cos delta 2. But what is the value of Z1 and Z2? What is the value of Z1 and Z2?
Not given, sir.
Again, Z1 and Z2 are not given, but we cannot assume any value for Z1 and Z2. But here we will make an assumption. I'll tell you. Let's assume Z1 as 20. We are assuming the value of Z1 only to identify the weaker member. Okay, we are assuming the value of Z1. This is only to identify the weaker member, but it is not the actual value of Z1. Okay, so if I assume Z1 as the 20, what is Z2? We know that Z2 by Z1 is equal to I, or Z2 by Z1 is equal to 3.5. Therefore, Z2 is 3.5 into 20. So it is 70. So Z1 is 20 and Z2 is 70. Okay. These are the assumed values. We have assumed the value of Z1. Therefore, we got the value of Z2. This is only to identify the weaker member. Okay. These are not the actual values of Z1 and Z2. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
This is only to identify the weaker member. Okay. So now we know the value of Z1 and Z2, that is 20 and 75. Okay. So if I assume 20 and 75, see, it is not necessary to assume it as 20. Okay, you can assume 1 also. It is not a problem. So if I know the value of Z1 and Z2, can I get the value of ZV1? ZV1 is equal to Z1 by cos delta 1, that is equal to 20 that divided by cos 16. And ZV2 is Z2 by cos delta 2, that is 70 by cos 74 degree. So what is ZV1?
$20.8.
So this is 20.8 and ZV2 is okay, let's take that 254. Okay, ZV1 and ZV2. Now we know the value of ZV1 and ZV2. Can I get the value of Y1 and Y2 now? Therefore, for 14.5 degree full depth involute gas, Y is given as 0.124 minus 0.684 by ZV1. Okay, this is equation number 23.115. Okay, so this is for Y1. And similarly for Y2, it is again 0.124 so ZV, sorry, Y1 is 0.684 by, sorry, it is 0.124 minus 0.684 by ZV1. It is 0.124 minus 0.684 by 20.8. And Y2 is 0.124 minus 0.684 by 254. So what is Y1 and Y2? What is the value of Y1 and Y2?
0.091, sir. Y1.
Y1 is 0.091
091.
and what is Y2? Y2?
0.1213.
So what is sigma OY, O1 Y1?
31.39.
31.39 and gear for gear
20.98, sir.
20.98. So which is the weaker member? Which is the weaker member?
Gear, sir.
Gear is the weaker member. Okay. So what is the value of Z1? What is the value of Z1?
We assume 20, sir.
See, the 20 is not the actual value of Z1. Okay? It was just an assumption. It was just an assumption to identify the weaker member. That's all. Okay. Now we came to know that gear is the weaker member. So now we can continue with the further design. So the further design is based on gear. Okay. Now what is the second step? It is tangential tooth load. So what is the equation for that? So it is Ft that is equal to 9550 into PS by NR. So here it is N2R2. Okay. So what is the P? P is 15 kilowatt and CS. What is the value of CS? Let's take it as 1.5. Okay, for a moderate to medium shock, 8 to 10 hours duty per day. And what is N2? What is the value of N2? It is 357.14. 357.14 RPM. And what is R2? R2 is D2 by 2. So that
210,
is
sir.
420 by 2. That is 210 mm. So this R2 is in mm. So if it is 210 mm, it is 0.21 meter. 0.21 meter. So Ft is 9550 into 15 kilowatt into 1.5 that divided by 357.14 multiplied by 0.21. So what is the answer? It is 2865 Newton. So this is the actual tangential tooth load. Next. So the next step is beam strength based on Lewis equation. So that beam strength based on Lewis equation is given as Ft that is equal to sigma O V B Y dy m into R minus d by R. Okay. This is equation 23.433a. Okay, where sigma O is nothing but sigma O2 because here is the weaker member. It is 173 Newton per mm square. kV we don't know. And R is, what is R? What is the value of R?
Z1 square plus Z2 square.
M by 2?
Root of Z1 square plus Z2 square.
Z1 square plus Z2 square. Or if I want to express this in terms of diameters, because we know the diameter. See, D is equal to mz. So in place of mz, I can write D. So this is equal to 1 by 2 root of D1 square plus D2 square. So what is the value of R? You know this D1 is 120 and D2 is 420. So the value of R is what is the value of R? 218.4.
0.4.
This is R. Okay. And we also know that the value of B varies from R by 4 to R by 3. Okay. So let's take B as R by 3. So therefore B is 218.4 by 3. Yes, I do. 218.4 by 3.
72.8.
Okay. 72.8. Okay, B is 72.8. Okay. Now we don't know the value of module. Okay. And sigma O R B. Sigma O R B. Okay. And what is Y? Y is equal to 5 times divided from factor Y. Okay. But this is Y2. What is the value of Y2? What is the value of Y2?
0.1213.
That 0.1213 is the value of Y. You got it by assuming the Z1 as 20.
Yes, sir. 20.
But here, Y2, this is not the actual value of Y2. 0.1213 is not the actual value of Y2 because we don't know the actual value of Z2. Right?
Yes, sir.
So what we need to do something else. Okay, we cannot use this directly. Okay. So what we do is Y2 is equal to 0.124 minus 0.684 by
684 by ZB.
ZB2. ZB2, right?
Yes, sir.
And ZB2 is, what is ZB2? ZB2 is
Lambda 2.
Z2 by cos delta
Cos
2. Cos delta 2. So, any other thing can be done? And what is Z2? Z2 is M.
D, sir.
M is equal to what?
M by D.
M by
D, sir.
and we know the value of Z2. Z2 is 420. Right. So in place of Z2, I can write M by 420. So M divided by 420 cos delta 2. Right.
Yes, sir.
Can I substitute this here? That is here. In place of ZB2, I can write this.
0.124 minus 0.684 into 420 cos delta 2 by m ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
So that is y2 is 0.124 minus 0.684
into 420 cos delta 2.
M is equal to d by z or d is equal to mz. Okay. Okay. 0.684 into
420 is 420 cos delta 2.
divided by m. Right? So here 0.124 minus what is the answer for this? Cos delta 2 is 74 degrees. So it is
79.18.
79.18. So this is the value of y2. Okay. Now, if you know the value of y2,
So screen sharing is off, sir.
yes, I reached a problem with the PowerPoint. It is getting closed. Okay, the value of the value of y, you got it in terms of module m, right? You got this in terms of module m, and you know the value of r and b, and what is kv? kv
VM,
is dependent on
VM.
Vm is equal to pi d2 n2 by. We know these two values. We know d2, we know n2. So that is equal to pi into 420 into 357.14 rpm divided by 60. So the value of Vm is 9.8 meter per second. So once I know the value of Vm, I can find the value of kV. kV is equal to, it is not 3 plus Vm because that equation is for the value of Vm, which is less than 7.5. If it is more than 7.5, I need to use another equation that is 5.6 by 5.6 plus root of Vm. Okay. So by using this, I can get the value of kV. So now, Ft, I'll get the value of Ft in terms of m. So this I can call it as equation 2 and this as equation 1. So if I solve these two equations, I can get the value of module m. How is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So by doing this, we can get the value of module. So once we get the value of module, you can find out the phase width, and accordingly you can find out the dynamic tooth load, and finally you can get the value of hardness number by using the wear strength equation.
Yes, sir.
Okay.